Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome once again to NOLA Theater Talk. My name is Alan Smason, and tonight we are doing a very important, I think a very special tribute to New Orleans' own, I guess you might say, adopted son, Tennessee Williams. Today, of course, would have been his birthday, March the 26th, and we are going to be enjoying a number of readings that we're going to be having. And I've got a special treat for those of you who have not seen it yet, a piece that was rendered by 3 Harvard students who are all now quarantining in England. And you'll hear more about that later, but a piece called Memory Play, which I found to be quite delightful. For those of you who know Tennessee Williams and know his work, you'll recognize the Memory Play referenced as the Glass Menagerie. But I'd like to also let you know that we're going to be having some difficulties tonight getting our broadcast over to the theatercriticism.com Facebook page. So if you're looking for it there, for some reason, my application StreamYard has lost the ability to broadcast to that particular page. So if you're trying to look for it on theatercriticism.com's Facebook page, you're going to have a little difficulty. I'm going to try to stream it back later. See what I can do, but there's only so much that I can do and juggle at one time. So I apologize for that. You will be able to see it in its entirety later. I will save it to that page. But in the meantime, I can only tell you that for right now, we're having difficulty getting that out. Matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and see if for some reason we might be able to get it to come up to my regular page. And let's see if we can deal with that. And hopefully it's broadcasting to streaming to that one now as well. So those of you who are joining us on my own Facebook page, welcome again to NOLA Theater Talk. This is Alan Smason. And tonight we have 2 local actors that we're going to have to do some of our readings. And we're going to bring them in just a second. But I wanted to go ahead and get them situated so that they have their plays, the scripts that they have ready. And in no particular order. I guess I could do it in alphabetical order, but the way that I did it was I put the first person up who was late. I don't know whether or not she's got her script yet. Give me a thumbs up if you got your script. You got your script? Yes. Okay. Great. So I'm going to bring in now the first of our 2 actors who are going to be doing tributes tonight to Tennessee Williams, and that is Kathryn Talbot. Hello, Kathryn.
That was a thumbs down, but I'm almost there.
All right. Let me bring in my second actor then. That will be none other than Tracy Norwood. Let's go ahead and bring Tracy in. All 3 of us are in here now. Tracy, very nice to have you. Tracy, before we get started, you mentioned that you got your equity card with a Tennessee Williams play. That was what, Le Petit?
I did.
Was that at Le Petit?
It wasn't Le Petit. It was actually for a streetcar named Desire.
And Kathryn, while I don't think you have an equity card, you've been in a number of productions, and I know you had done the Gnädiges Fräulein, and I'm sure several other pieces of Tennessee, huh?
Yes, a couple of the Night of the Iguana, Tennessee, the Gnädiges. I think those are the only 2 I've done.
Okay. Well, at least that's 2. It's 2 more than I've done. So.
But I did Gnädiges twice, with once through, I guess we did it out at, what was that park? Cluett Park. And then we did it again with the Tennessee Williams Festival, which was really nice to bring it back.
So because it's Tennessee's birthday, what I should have done was probably had some bourbon. But I have to tell you, I didn't have a chance to get any bourbon tonight, because I've had the problems with StreamYard, because I was trying to get Kathryn in the room and everybody else, situated. Tracy, I apologize for sending out the link late. I made a Sazerac. It's as close to New Orleans as I can get. I've done this too many times, but I know how to make it quick, and I did. So I don't know what you brought in the room too. So I'm going to go with Tracy first. What do you have?
I have a nice bottle of Malbec.
Malbec. Now, Malbec became very popular in the last several years, didn't it?
It did. It's kind of blown up, which is nice because I'm a red wine kind of girl. The heartier the wine, the more it is for me. So.
Okay, well then Malbec it is, and And Malbec would be sort of what? There you go, Kathryn. You all right?
Yeah.
Looks like you dropped something. Anyway, Malbec would be somewhere between what a Pinot Noir and maybe a Syrah, maybe, or something like that, or
I would probably put it more in a Syrah category. It's very earthy, and this one's from France, so it's got a lot of to it.
Okay, I think Kathryn made some noise and I couldn't hear you. He's got a lot of what to it?
Weight. Tastes
Okay,
kinda
weight
like
to it.
soil.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Kathryn, what did you bring into the room tonight?
Well, I don't have it in the room with me, but it's sitting on the table. It's a bottle. It's a glass of red wine, and I have no idea what it is. It's just red.
Well, you know what we do to people who don't have their wine with them or don't have their drink with them?
I can go get it.
Yeah. Well, yeah. When you come back, you'll be allowed back in the room. There you go. You know, I have a hard, fast rule about that. You got to bring a drink in. I don't care if it's alcoholic or not. Of course, I always say, why not? You know? So,
Not.
in case anybody joined us tonight, we have the lovely Kathryn Talbot and Tracy Norwood with us, who are going to be doing readings. And Tracy, I think we're going to have you go ahead. I see she's returned with her drink victorious. Kathryn, what do you have? What kind of wine is it?
Repeat that, Alan.
What kind of wine is it? Did you figure that out?
I have something called Copper Valley Syrah. It is a Syrah.
Oh, is this Syrah? So both of you had similar red wine tonight. All right. So if it's okay, Kathryn, I'm gonna let
hard time hearing
that's okay. I'm gonna let Tracy start off the festivities, as it were. Happy birthday, Tennessee. And we're gonna do that by having the first of our readings, and we have several. And I want to publicly thank one of my very good friends, David Kaplan, for helping me with selecting some of these readings. David, of course, works with the Provincetown Theater Festival, Tennessee Williams Theater Festival, and Kathryn, you've worked with him directly in one case.
Oh,
so,
yes, that was also what I did with the the Lady of Larkspur Lotion.
Yeah, I was thinking you might have mentioned that one, but that's okay. I wasn't going to call you out. In any event, the main thing is that we have these readings, and I wanted to thank him for doing that. And again, happy birthday, Tennessee! As I said, we're having a treat tonight, and I want to go ahead and have Tracy go first. Now, Tracy, this first reading is just going to be you, and what's it from?
It's from Small Craft Warnings.
Okay, which does several productions here. I've seen some that have been done. I think the most recent was done maybe at Meg's, and I know that there was another one done, I think at Meg's, that the Tennessee Williams Theater Company in New Orleans did as well.
Okay,
So I don't know, Kathryn, I think that maybe your volume is up a little high. We're hearing a little something.
I can turn it down a little bit.
That's okay. I'm going to go ahead and remove you, and I'm going to ask Tracy to go ahead and get yourself prepared, and we'll do a little. You want a little countdown? We can do that for you. Would that help you?
Oh, sure. Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay, so we're going to do Happy Birthday, Tennessee, and when the countdown is finished, after 30 seconds, you'll be able to see the lovely Tracy Norwood do her very special tribute to Tennessee. And of course, this is the first of two that you're going to do, because you're going to participate with one with Kathryn later. That's going to be a dialogue. That's going to be taken from Streetcar. So let me go ahead and get the rundown going, and we'll be right back with a piece from Small Craft Warnings.
When I come to a new place, it takes me 2 or 3 weeks. That's all it takes me to find somebody to live with in my home on wheels, and to find a night spot to hang out in. Those first 2 or 3 weeks are rough. Sometimes I wish I'd stayed where I was before, but I've known from experience that I'll find somebody and locate a night spot to booze in and get acquainted with friends. And then all at once, something wonderful happens. All the past disappointments in people I left behind me just disappear, evaporate from my mind, and I just remember the good things, such as their sleeping faces and life. Life, I never just said, oh, well. I've always said life to life, like a song, God, too, because I've lived my lifetime and I've not been afraid of changes. However, you see, I've got pride in my nature. And I live with a person I love and care for in my life. I expect his respect. And when I see I've lost it, I go. So, Home on Wheels is the only home for me.
And scene. Thank you very much, Tracy. I do appreciate that. Very nice. Any comments, Kathryn? How was that? That get you in the
That was
mood?
lovely. I enjoyed it.
You get you in the mood. All right. So
Yeah.
now that was the first of the pieces, and now I want to make sure I spelled it right. Gennady. I want to make sure I got that right. You know, I didn't have a chance. I'm trying to look to make sure that I did it right, but is it?
Let me scroll up
I
and
think it's
see.
GN.
It's
Gennady.
Gennady.
Gennady. Yeah. Anyway, just give me the spelling.
Hang on. Oops, sorry.
I want to make sure I have the right,
I
because
just lost my page.
well,
It's
you know what?
Gennadiges.
All right, and it's Fraulein.
Fraulein.
There we go. All right, I'm adding that because I had it ready to go, and there you go. And you know what that translates into?
Well, Fraulein obviously means, female, woman.
Right.
I don't know. I did know at one time. I don't remember.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
I'm sure a lot of Tennessee people out there who can make their comments. So hopefully we have a couple of people out there who are checking it out and know, and they'll put it in the comment field and they'll let us know because they're pretty good about that. All right, Tracy, I'm going to remove you from the stream for right now. We're going to bring you right back after they're done. At least Kathryn's done, and then the two of you will do a scene together, and then we'll bring in the people from Memory Play. So hang in there.
Got my glasses, but I'm gonna have to wear my glasses.
Okay, and again, I'll do another countdown for you as we did before, so it'll prepare you and get you in the mood. Okay.
Okay. Was that two cockaloonie birds that flew over, or was it just one cockaloonie bird that made a U-turn and flew back over again? Oh! Bird watchers, watch those birds. They can be very dangerous when agitated, and they sure seem agitated today. Oh! Well, I may as well just remain in this position if it wasn't so inelegant for a lady of my position. What's my position? Why, I am the southernmost gossip columnist and society editor of the southernmost news organ in the Disunited Mistakes. All those damn birds. Everything is southernmost here because of a geographical accident making this island, this little bit of heaven, drop from the sky one day, the southernmost bit of terra firma of the... Oh, those birds. I've lost my concentration. My mother said that the way to tell a lady is that a lady never steps out of her house unless her house is on fire without a pair of gloves on. And that's how you tell a lady if you want to tell one and you've got something to tell one. Have I got on any gloves? No. And I didn't hear a fire engine. Oh, all I heard was that swoop and flap and the sound in the air of a coca-loony. So I must get my concentration. I've got it. Yes, I've got it back. Perfect. What I was saying was that everything is southernmost here. I mean, like this morning, I did the southernmost write-up on the southernmost gangbang, and I called it multiple nuptials. Which is the southernmost gilding of the southernmost lily that any cock-eyed sob sister and society edit, even if not southernmost, ever dreamed of, let alone, oh, those damn coca-loonies perpetrated. Yes, everything is southernmost here, like southern fried chicken is southernmost fried chicken. But who's got a chicken? None of us southernmost white Anglo-Saxon Protestants are living on fish and fish only because of a thyroid deficiency in our southernmost systems. We live on fish because regardless of faith or lack thereof, every day is Friday, gastronomically speaking, because of the readjustment of the economy, which is southernmost too. Oh, those damn birds.
And there we are. I'll bring Tracy back in. And there you go. That, again, is our way of saying happy birthday, Tennessee.
Happy birthday, Tennessee.
And that brought a lot back. Again, you did that with Margot Fanning
Yes.
some years ago, not that
Molly and
long,
Polly,
and then
2013 and again in 14.
And I know that a tribute would not be proper without mentioning Francine Siegel, who did it as well, and Bunny Love, who did probably the most recent version of it with the Tennessee Williams Theater Company.
I think so.
Yeah. So, and that was at Phillips Restaurant of all places.
Yes.
So I'm going to take a bow out, and I'm going to let you all. First off, what is about to ensue is that you are going to be presenting one of the opening pieces from A Streetcar Named Desire, and it's the conversation between Eunice and Blanche as Blanche is arriving, as it were. So it's very early in Act One, and some very famous lines in there that you'll be uttering that devotees of Tennessee will recognize at once, and of course lends itself to the title. But basically, I think people should appreciate the fact that we're doing this tonight as a tribute to Tennessee. It's just actors doing the roles. We're not trying to emulate anybody, any of the characteristics of the people, but we are just doing the roles that there are there that exist on paper, and we hope that we do good service to them. So without any further ado, I'm going to do another countdown, and then you two will present a little piece from Streetcar Named Desire, and then we'll let you all say good night, and we'll get to our next group of folks who are going to be presenting their memory play. Thank you so much, and I will take a bow out and allow us to prepare.
What's the matter, honey? You lost?
He told me to take a streetcar named Desire and then transfer to one called Cemeteries and ride 6 blocks and get off at Elysian Fields.
And that's where you are now.
At Elysian Fields?
This here is Elysian Fields.
They mustn't have understood what number I wanted.
Well, what number you looking for?
632.
You don't have to look no further.
I'm looking for my sister, Stella Dubois. I mean, Mrs. Stanley Kowalski.
That's the party. You did just miss her, though.
This? Can this be her home?
She's got the downstairs here, and I got the up.
Oh, she's out?
You know that bowling alley around the corner?
I'm not sure I did.
Well, that's where she's at, watching her husband bowl. You want to leave your suitcase here and go find her?
No.
She wasn't expecting you?
No, not tonight.
Well, why don't you just go in and make yourself at home till they get back?
How could I do that?
Oh, we own this place, so I can let you in. It's sort of messed up right now, but when it's clean, it's real sweet.
Is it?
Uh-huh. I think so.
Yes.
You're Stella's sister, huh?
Yes. Thanks for letting me in.
Por nada. As the Mexicans say, por nada. You know, Stella spoke of you.
Yes.
I think she said you taught school, huh?
Yes.
And you're from Mississippi, huh?
Yes.
She showed me a picture of your home place, the plantation.
Belle Reeve?
Great big place with white columns.
Yes.
A place like that must be awful hard to keep up, huh?
If you will excuse me, I'm just about to drop.
Oh, honey, why don't you sit down?
What I meant was, I'd like to be left alone.
Ah, well, I'll make myself scarce in that case, huh?
I didn't mean to be rude, but I'm just...
I'll drop by the bowling alley and hustle her up, all right?
I've got to keep hold of myself.
Congratulations. Yay. Very nice.
Thank you,
Very
Alan.
nice. All right, guys, I'm going to let you get out of here. I have to try to figure out how to share out a video that we did the other day with our folks from England. And once I do that, we'll be able to move on. But in the meantime, thank you so much for doing, everything
And
tonight.
thank you
It's
for
been
letting us
lovely.
be a part of it.
And I will do my best to get this video up. Thank you, Tracy Norwood and Kathryn Talbot, for being a part of our show tonight. Take care. Have a good night.
Good night,
Great
everyone.
weekend. All right. Take care. Bye now. All right. Let's see if I can figure out what the heck I'm doing here. I'm going to try my best. There is a video that I did do, and because of the time change, it was important that we get it done correctly. And I think I'm hoping that I can get it right. Let's see what it brings up. Yeah, well, I think it's going to bring up a. There we go. Perfect. I'm going to do that right there, and let's see if we can try to get this thing shared out. I just have to make sure I put the right things in, and just give me a second here. I think we can do this. Yep. Okay, and there we go, and there we go, and there we go. This should work fine now. Welcome, everybody. We have a wonderful group of guests tonight, all the way from merry old England, that we're going to have talking about a piece just in time for Tennessee Williams's birthday. Again, tonight, we want to share with you the joy of Tennessee and all of the activity that's going on now with the Tennessee Williams New Orleans Literary Festival. But some of the readings that we've had, I think, echo some of the purpose that he had in writing these characters down, and also in terms of the ability of some of our local actors to more or less breathe life into them and resonate with them. Again, I enjoy all that we're doing tonight to celebrate Tennessee. And again, this is an opportunity for us to see how other people outside of the New Orleans area are able to celebrate the joy that is Tennessee. So without any further ado, I'm going to bring in our trio of folks. Again, these folks are coming to you via the internet, and let's go ahead and welcome them again. From left to right, we have Lyndon Hanrahan and the Senator Mitchell Polonsky and Chloe Brooks, and they are the creators of Memory Play, which we're going to see a couple little pieces from. Again, we want to thank you for being here tonight. Again, those of you who are just joining us, this is NOLA Theater Talk. My name is Alan Smason, and again, we've been showing these videos that we do on the NOLA Theater Folk Facebook group, on the theatercriticism.com Facebook page, and for those of you not associated with Facebook, on our YouTube channel. So we have all of that going on. So Mitchell, I'm going to start with you. You're in the center, and for those of you who don't know where you are, fill me in on where you are.
So we're all currently quarantining in the UK because Chloe and Lyndon live in the UK. Chloe is currently a student at the Royal Academy of Dramatic Arts, and Lyndon is currently a student at the London Film School. So I just came to stay with them here in England. We've just been sort of waiting out the pandemic here. Yeah.
And if I may ask, the name of the group that you had down was the Goat Exchange. Is that your group, or is that their group and yours, or how does that work? What does this work?
That's a group that Chloe and I started while we were all students at Harvard. That's also where we made Memory Play. And it's primarily a theater group. Lyndon is a filmmaker, so this was kind of a theater-film collaboration of sorts.
And Lyndon, this is your website as well, lyndonhanrahan.com. You come to the project, I guess, as he said, as a filmmaker. So one of the things that I'm always conscious of, and we've been going through this now because of COVID, all of the virtual productions that have been going on. A lot of people, get enthused about productions, but then they say, well, why did they do it this way? Why didn't they depict it this way? And I explained to them, it's always the film director's vision when you film something, but it's the stage director's, I guess you might say, realization of the author's words for stage work. And a lot of times the author's work, the playwright's directions, etc., dictate what the director will do. But in a film, really, the film director pretty much decides what he's going to do. Isn't that the case?
Yeah. Well, I suppose what's different is that the film director controls the eye, whereas, of course, the theater director, even though you're realizing a concept and have a vision for it, you don't have quite as much control in terms of what exactly everyone's looking at. But this was sort of a hybrid model in that I was not like the sole director. We all worked on it as like equal collaborators. We were, we've been friends for several years. We met and lived together in college, and we wanted to find a project in which we could all work on equally and collaborate. So like a film theater project that we could all co-direct and make together. So yeah, that's how it came to be.
So whose idea was it to do this? And it's sort of a riff on the Glass Menagerie. Whose idea was it originally to do this at Harvard when you did it?
We kind of came to it organically all together.
We were trying out different plays. We've worked a lot on Tennessee Williams before. We've done 2-character play here in London. Mitchell did Streetcar for his thesis production. And we were looking, and so we love Tennessee Williams. And then we just ended up going to sit by a river, by the Charles River, and reading out the play. Of course, reading out the play meant just me reading out the play. But we wanted to see if it would fit, and we sort of came to it, I guess, as a group, and felt like it gave us so many, visual opportunities and so much beautiful language to work with, and it just got us all really excited.
Okay, before we go into the reveal about how you rendered it, I'm having a little bit of coffee in addition to my other drink that I've got tonight that I'm having. So what do you all want to share what you're having as you are in the room tonight with us?
So we're all drinking orange sodas.
Cheers.
Orange sodas.
Why
And,
orange sodas, if I may ask? Is there a reason?
Mitchell?
Yes. So when we were shooting the film in Cambridge, we were shooting it right next to an ice cream shop called JP Licks, and we used to go to this ice cream shop to get orange ice cream sodas. We just loved having orange ice cream sodas together, and so we thought orange sodas would be an appropriate choice.
We went to JP Licks, even though we all spent the entire summer we were working on the film, also working as tour guides, which gave us free ice cream at a different venue. So you can understand our allegiances were torn.
Mhm.
So what was if I may ask, what was your favorite ice cream where you went? Where was your favorite ice cream that was always brought you back? Was it the orange?
So I used to get orange soda with vanilla ice cream in it.
Yeah. So like a dreamsicle. So like a dreamsicle.
Like dreamsicle.
Yeah.
Yes, a dream.
And did they comply, or do they have something else that they like? Chloe?
I'm a coffee type of lady myself.
Me too. I like me some coffee. And Lyndon, what about you?
Like a salted caramel, but I like to keep it interesting, so I go where my heart leads me.
Very good. So for everybody who's joining us now, Memory Play is not just a retelling of Glass Menagerie, and I would say the best way to describe it is an abridged version, which you distilled down into about 20 some odd minutes, and that includes titles, etc. So pretty abridged, but still you were able to get the essence of it. I mean, it would be hard for me to find a better way to do it, and you all were very thoughtful in what you kept in and what you took out, etc., to advance the plot, etc. I don't think anybody who's seen the actual full work on stage or seen a film or a video of it would be feeling that they've missed something. I think that what you add to it and the visual aspects of it is quite interesting. Let me go ahead and show a couple of the scenes from it, and maybe you can tell me how it is you decided to use it. And would puppetry be the proper word here? What's the word?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would say puppetry.
Okay. So again, this would be a good example of a scene, and again, you've got your character on a bench, and you would have other people who are obviously behind there. You can see sort of like the aspect of everybody in a park, and again, the voices would be heard that would essentially be reading the lines from the play. You remember what's going on in that particular scene?
We do.
Yes.
That's
Okay.
the moment where it was describing what she would do all day when she wasn't going to business college. So we spent a very long time building out a sequence. We wanted to get in one shot a sort of panorama of everything that she does when she's not in business college, and she describes all these different activities she would do around the area. So this is the first of those. She'd go to the park and sit in the park. So behind in the background, you can see a postcard that we have for the background of the shot. And I forget how we found this material. And Mitchell built a swing set. But Lyndon can speak more to the sort of filmic elements of deciding to get all that text into a single shot. It took quite a bit of doing.
And I'm very impressed. Again, had you ever worked with the small figures before in other works?
No, it was the first time. So I had done some theater design where you have to build these little miniature scale models, and we all became really interested in these little models, and we're thinking it would be a great thing to use to sort of do this theater film hybrid, because with limited resources you have to make do with what you have, and we figured we can do a lot in miniature that we might not be able to do at full scale. So these are all 1/40 scale miniature.
This would be Amanda in the kitchen, is that right?
Yeah.
And again, look at the little spatulas and the knife that's hanging down. I mean, very well done. I mean, I'm very impressed with the thoughtfulness that goes into the design here. It's got to be difficult to get those little small bowls too.
Painting.
The painting.
The painting of these things. These things did not come painted, you know,
Yeah.
with tiny paintbrushes that have just a few hairs on them so that you can get the detail. It's crazy.
Yeah.
We even used a magnifying glass that ended up making its way into the movie later on when we see Chloe's face.
Right, I did notice that. I thought that was kind of interesting.
It's there are a lot of stuff. I think that the creation of them lent itself very well to the end of the movie, in which we're with this figure who we arbitrarily named Estelle, which is the sort of puppeteer figure that lent itself really well to seeing how she was sort of playing with all of these little objects she created.
Well, you know,
I mean, one of the
Go ahead.
I was going to say, one of the things that really attracted us to the Glass Menagerie, and one of the things we noticed in making it, is that our obsession with all of these miniatures really began to mirror Laura's obsession with her Glass Menagerie in a lot of way. And to spend that amount of time and that kind of delicacy, and I think then when you realize, as Lyndon was saying, the relationship between the miniatures and the performer, which was Chloe, you get that sense of that relationship in a way you wouldn't from a stage production.
It's interesting you use the name Estelle because, you know, I think about Estelle Parsons, the actress, who was the first actor who took part in what we now know as the Kingdom of Earth, or the Seven Descents of Myrtle that was on Broadway. And, you know, basically, you know, it's a name that's not foreign to Tennessee Williams, to people who are devotees. So that's maybe that was subliminal in your mind, but that's an unusual name to
A little
use.
inside joke for the Williams fans.
So maybe, Lyndon, you can tell me, you used a lot of shots like this too, with different effects. Can you tell me how you rendered that effect and what you were going for?
Okay, so this movie was so much fun to make because of how ridiculous a lot of these setups were. So this one in particular, if I can unpack these, the two little figurines at the top are placed inside of a dollar store rose, like plastic rose that we bought. It was then placed on a cake spinner, and then that cake spinner like gently rotates, so it feels like we're sort of turning the camera around them.
Alan, how are you?
I picked up a trick from one of my phone
I'm okay. You know, I got your message here. I've got your phone number now. But it might not be bad. I'm going to just recommend that when you go on Facebook, you probably shouldn't post information about, you know, your wife or you and your phone number, especially because, you know, you don't know who's going to be seeing it. You know,
flour
I'm
into
glad
the
you got
shot.
it over me. And I've got your number now, so I can.
There are a few rather unelegant little clumps of flour that fall onto it.
A lot of the fun of working with miniatures is that you can just do all this stuff
only because
that you couldn't
now
do
you got
Yeah.
your message
Yeah.
out to me, which is what you were trying to do.
And again,
now
for
you
those
don't
of
need
you
anybody else
who
to see
didn't
it.
notice, it is a blue rose.
Okay.
For blue roses.
Cool.
That,
And we'll talk
you
later.
know,
Let me
was
get
a
this
take
before
off
the
on,
show.
on pleurisy that
All right, fine.
Tennessee used in there. And again, you know, a lot of people who would probably recognize that right away, but not everybody will. This is another scene, and tell me, it's a little bit darker. Tell me again a little bit about this one.
So the way that this was actually the introduction of Jim, the first time that Jim is mentioned, and
The gentleman
you have
caller.
sort of, the gentleman caller, and Chloe is sort of playing this puppeteer figure who, as you said, is playing all the roles. And we were thinking about what to do with the gentleman callers, and Amanda talking about the gentleman callers. And we had an idea that she keeps all of her miniature gentleman callers in an ice tray in the freezer. So she goes and cracks one out, which later becomes Jim. And I think that idea originally came from her storing her memories, or like freezing her memories of these men that she keeps coming back to.
This was another really nice thing about working with miniatures. Is, you know, in the stage direction, Tennessee Williams writes about having the projections, you know, as part of the stage design. But something about doing a film adaptation, which is, as you mentioned, a quite loose adaptation as well, and doing it on this miniature scale allowed us to sort of lean in to the poetry of the play, or, you know, to have ideas like keeping the gentleman collars literally on ice in the freezer, you know, that, you know, we wanted to use those types of metaphors to highlight certain aspects of the play that we thought we could show visually in a new way that is not as easy to do on stage without getting away from the story. You know?
And I follow that. You know, again, I got to ask the question. You all, you know, are dealing with miniatures, and then in the course of the play that you're dealing with, Laura has a collection of miniatures. So, you know, doing something that you had to do with dealing with miniatures in a miniature set had to be daunting, and you all tackled it in a very creative way too, didn't you?
We played her. This is okay. So I think the way we were thinking of it is to have miniatures of miniatures, like, would be one, lunacy, considering that these objects were already so tiny, but also to kind of be just like a punchline. Like, if we have like Laura, who's an inch big, playing with like 1/48 of an inch big, yeah. And so because so much of it is about this sort of world that she lives in, it would make sense to actually situate her as the character in that world. And so the Glass Menagerie that she sort of keeps referring to and sort of finds comfort in is actually the thing that she lives in and surrounds her. So these animals are approximately to scale as the animals would be, or they're significantly larger. So the giraffe, the horse next to her would be like the size of a horse would be next to a person.
And again, I'm not going to reveal that because I want everybody to watch the play, memory play, and to get out of it, you know, all that they can. I think it's marvelously crafted work. I mean, there were pieces in there. For instance, I got a kick out of the bubbles coming from the sink. That was ridiculous, but funny. And you know, again, just people who love Tennessee Williams, I think, will enjoy what fun you had in rendering this. Now, it took, you said, about 2 months to do total?
About 2 months, yeah. It was about 2 months, and you know, it took a lot of thought and a lot of planning. The shoot wasn't quite a. We planned for at least a month before we started shooting, just building the miniatures and
yeah,
rehearsing.
this is the thing and this is the thing that Mitchell gets to take pretty much all the credit for, is almost everything you see in the film, it has been built. You know, none of those things we sort of bought as wholesale models, although of course we had to buy some of the smaller pieces. So everything had to get painted and put together.
Chloe did the painting. I can't do the tiny things. Chloe did all the painting.
But that took quite a bit of time, even before we could start shooting. Yeah.
All right, so I told everybody earlier I was going to reveal my tie. People don't know what this is, but essentially I'll show you. It's in the background right now, but you know, so you can see the entirety of it. This is a piece that was done by a local artist named Kat Walker. She did the caricature, and you can probably see going off from the left, you can see the balcony from the French Quarter, then throwing Mardi Gras beads. There's the NOLA, that's the New Orleans Theater Association, with the guy holding the second line umbrella. They helped sponsor the American Theater Critics Association gathering that was in 2015. The Sanger Theater is over on the right side. That you can see the I guess marquees that are there, and then you've got the second line band that's rolling up what apparently is a hill. We don't have hills in New Orleans, so I'm not quite sure what that is supposed to engage. Maybe it's just a perspective. Then you've got the streetcar named Desire, of course. So you know all of that. Now, who's that underneath the Bourbon Street lamppost? Well, on the left is the Daumier critic. Daumier was a very famous renderer of caricatures in Paris, and of course there's Tennessee Williams wearing Mardi Gras beads and smoking his cigarette in his cigarette holder. So for those of you who are not too familiar with that, let me go ahead and now show you the tie I'm wearing, which is taken from that. It's just
terrific.
Oh, wonderful.
So this is a special tie, silk tie, and I only wear it usually during the Tennessee Williams Theater Festival, not Theater Festival, but New Orleans Literary Festival. But again, the idea being that we want to be able to show all of what's going on, you know, for Tennessee. So I have that, and again, there's only one like it in the world. You know, it was rendered specifically for me post conference. I didn't get to wear it during the conference because we actually didn't have an opportunity to. But the person who did the ties is very good at what she does, and I really appreciated it. So, but it was a little bit of a treat for you. You get to see a little bit of something in a miniature as well. So I want to thank you all. I'm really hoping that everybody will take time out. I guess the last picture reminds me a lot of as I was saying before we started the show tonight, of Mr. Bill. But it shows, one of the hands moving one of the miniatures over and getting everything in position to be filmed. And you filmed it, by the way, Lyndon, on what type of was it a digital process that you used or what?
Well, this is sort of our big trick. This was shot on an iPhone. The movie is, as Chloe once put it in like a little statement we had to write up. This is like a movie that was made very much using necessity as like a creative tool. And so because we didn't really have much to work with, we had like one very good actor and we had one man obsessed with little tiny things, and we had a phone. And so this was shot on a phone on a single location in the basement of a dorm that was about to be renovated. So they let us move in for the summer to film it there. So yeah, the digital process is just an iPhone and lots of little random tricks that we came up with, like probably got seen on the ones.
And not only that, we just couldn't fit any other kind of camera into these tiny spaces. So the phone was just the smallest thing we could use for these little shots.
Well, I really appreciate you sharing it with us. And again, I want to sort of let everybody know that they're going to see Memory Play in its entirety following this. But again, I want to thank Lyndon Hanrahan and Mitchell Polonsky and Chloe Brooks for being with us. And really, this is sort of like one of the candles that we put on the cake for Tennessee. I really hope that people will enjoy, the spirit in which it was intended and the joy that you all had in making it. And so without any further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let us now watch Memory Play.
I have tricks in my pocket. I have things up my sleeve. But I am the opposite of a stage magician. He gives you illusion that has the appearance of truth. I give you truth in the pleasant disguise of illusion. The play is memory. Being a memory play, it is not realistic. I am the narrator of the play and also a character in it. The other characters are my mother Amanda, my sister Laura, and a gentleman caller who appears in the final scenes. He is the most realistic character in the play, being an emissary from a world of reality that we were somehow set apart from. But since I have a poet's weakness for symbols, I am using this character also as a symbol.
I kept that down a moment.
He is the long delayed but always expected something that we live for. There is a fifth character in the play who doesn't appear except in this photograph. This is our father who left us a long time ago. I think the rest of the play will explain itself.
Honey, don't push with your fingers. And chew. Animals have sections in their stomachs which enable them to digest food without mastication. But human beings are supposed to chew their food before they swallow it down.
I haven't enjoyed one bite of this dinner because of your constant directions on how to eat it.
What is the matter with you?
You confiscated my books.
I won't allow such filth brought into my house.
House? House? Who pays rent on it?
Who makes a slave of himself? Right. You got to jeopardize your job. Jeopardize the security of us all.
Listen, you think I'm crazy about the warehouse? You think I'm in love with the Continental shoemakers? You think I want to spend 55 years down there in that Celotex interior with fluorescent tubes. Look, I'd rather somebody picked up a crowbar and battered out my brains than go back and every time you come in yelling that goddamn rise and shine, I say to myself, how lucky dead people are. For $65 a month, I give up all that I dream of doing and being ever. And you say self is all I ever think of. Why, listen, if self is what I thought of, Mother, I'd be where he is. Gone.
Where are you going?
I'm going to the movies. I don't believe you go every night to the movies. I'm going to open dance. Mother, I'm a hired assassin. A simple, honest warehouse worker by day, by night, a dynamic czar of the underworld, Mother. I've joined the Hogan gang. I go to gambling casinos. I wear a false mustache. Sometimes I put on green whiskers. On those occasions, they call me El Diablo. My enemies plan to dynamite this place. I'll be glad, very happy, and so will you. You'll go up on a broomstick over Blue Mountain with 17 gentlemen callers, ugly, babbling old witch. Laura, I stopped off at Rubicam Business College to ask them what progress they thought you were making. They didn't know who you were. $50 tuition. All of our plans, my hopes and ambitions for you just gone up the spout. Laura, where have you been going when you've gone on pretending that you were going to business college? All sorts of places. Mostly in the park. I went in the art museum. And the birdhouses at the zoo. Lately, I've been spending most of my afternoons in the jewel box, that big glass house where they raise the tropical flowers. What is there left but dependence? All our lives stuck away in some little mousetrap of a room, little bird-like women without any nest, eating the crust of humility all their lives. Laura, resume your seat. I want you to stay fresh and pretty for gentlemen callers. Sometimes they come when they are least expected. Why, I remember one Sunday afternoon in Blue Mountain, your mother received 17 gentlemen callers. I don't believe we're going to receive any, Mother. Haven't you ever liked some boy? Yes, I liked one once. His name was Jim. He used to call me Blue Roses. Why did he call you such a name as that? When I had that attack of pleurosis, he asked me what was the matter when I came back. I said pleurosis, but he thought that I said blue roses. Whenever he saw me, he'd holler, "Hello, blue roses." Girls that aren't cut out for business careers usually wind up married to some nice man. Sister, that's what you'll do. But Mother, yes? I'm crippled. Eat a bowl of purine. Just coffee, Mother. Shredded wheat biscuit? Just coffee. Drinking too hot liquids makes cancer of the stomach. Put cream in. No, thank you. To cool it. I want it black. I know, but it's not good for you. We have to do all that we can to build ourselves up. In these trying times we live in, all that we have to cling to is each other. Down at the warehouse, aren't there some nice young men? Find out one that's clean living, doesn't drink. Ask him out for sister to meet. I saw that letter that you got from the Merchant Marine. I know what you're dreaming of. Very well then, but not till there's somebody to take your place. As soon as Laura has got somebody to take care of her, married, a home of her own, independent, why then you'll be free to go wherever you please, on land, on sea, whichever way the wind blows you. I'm tired of the movies.
Hollywood characters are supposed to have all the adventures for everybody in America, while everybody in America sits in a dark room and watches them have them. Until there's a war. Then the people in the dark room come out of the dark room to have some adventure themselves. But I don't want to wait till then. I'm a member of the Union of Merchant Seamen. I paid my dues this month, instead of the light bill.
You mean you've asked some nice young man to come over?
I've asked him to dinner.
Soon?
He's coming tomorrow.
Tomorrow gives me no time. We can't have a gentleman caller in this pigsty. What is the young man's name?
Jim O'Connor. Mother, you mustn't expect too much of Laura. She's ours, and we love her. We don't even notice she's crippled anymore. But in the eyes
Hey,
of others,
I'm in the middle of the show,
outside
but I
the
just thought
house,
I'd give you
she's
a quick
terribly
call.
shy
And
lives in a world of her own. A world of little glass ornaments.
And there we have it. Memory play. Again, I want to thank everybody who was here tonight to help us with our birthday greetings to Tennessee Williams. That was Memory Play, again done by Lyndon Hanrahan, Mitchell Polonsky, and Chloe Brooks. And again, earlier this evening, we had readings by both Tracy Norwood and Kathryn Talbot. Again, my thanks to everyone for being here. Those of you who have made this night very special. And we're a little bit over our normal time. We normally only broadcast for an hour, but because of the length of Memory Play in its entirety, we stretch it out a little bit longer, but not that much longer. It's not even 10 minutes after the time we're supposed to go. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for being with me tonight. Again, my name is Alan Smason. This has been NOLA Theater Talk. We're going to broadcast this retroactively, if you will, on the theatercriticism.com page because we weren't able to live stream it tonight. It did stream live on my own Facebook page. So those of you who are my friends are seeing it broadcast now live as it is. So without any further ado, I want to thank you all for being with me tonight, helping celebrate Tennessee Williams' birthday. And again, as always, my admonition to you is I will see you all at the theater.